How good are those Dallas rookies? They make it fun to watch, and at 8-1, guess who's got the best record in the NFL, Prime?
Wow. We interviewed Jason Wynn last week, and he was talking about how infectious the young guys were and how they were rubbing off on some of the old school guys. These guys play with a sense of urgency. They want to win. You got to understand. Well, do your thing, brother. Let the Lord use you. Let the Lord use you. These guys play with a sense of urgency, and they want to win, and they have an expectation to win. They don't understand the old Cowboys who really hadn't been successful in playoff history. These guys come to win and have an expectation to win. Now, the only thing that we're concerned about is really defensively. They were very vulnerable, especially on the back end. They got an injury at cornerback. A couple of injuries now, and you've seen how thin they were at the cornerback position is almost depleted, where Big Ben took advantage of that in the secondary. That's the only thing you really need to concern yourself about in the upcoming games.
Yeah, but we were waiting for that hallmark moment with these young guys on the road. Could they put together a drive to win? We just saw it, and we know that Pittsburgh, maybe they're not what they used to be.
They're not your grandfather's Pittsburgh.
I get it, but when they play at home, they're pretty close to it, right?
Right. And this was a big win. And you know, sometimes with rookies like this, we say they don't know what they don't know. And that's what these guys play like. They don't know that this Pittsburgh, and they have won championships, and this is a difficult place to play. All they knew is, hey, we're going in, we're prepared to play, and we believe that we can win this game. To me, the Cowboys, to help their defense out, they play complementary football on offense. They play time possession, control the clock. And on the other hand, Pittsburgh doesn't play like that. Pittsburgh has the same type of defense that we worry about. Can they get it done? But yet, Pittsburgh is explosive. They're wide open. They're not trying to conserve the defense. You know, they worried about scoring. And maybe that's the problem in Pittsburgh. Maybe they need to adopt Dallas' style, play more ball control, help your defense out a little bit. When you don't have a good defense, you got to be able to.
They don't have the running game that they once did.
That's true.
They don't have that running game as well.
Though. That's what I understand.
Yes.
They got the back.
All right, but what Dallas does have, as I mentioned, 8-1, best record in all of football. But, of course, the question's going to happen because next week they play the Baltimore Ravens.
You shouldn't even ask that question.
I know, but somebody did. They asked the boss man about what Tony Romo, he's expected to dress next week. Well, where do we stand with the quarterback situation?
Yeah, he had a great week. He practiced all 3 days. He hadn't done that in about 18 months, 2 years. Practiced all 3 days, didn't have any lingering negative things from that, and really was able to really, if you will, use every aspect of his leverage, of everything he needs to do to make his throws, and he didn't have any lingering effects from it. That's great news for us, and certainly look forward to having him on the roster.
We got to stop. We got to stop this because now it's getting to the point where it's not even fair to Tony Romo. You're putting him in a very uncomfortable position. We got to stop that. At first, it was cute. It was the right thing to do because Tony Romo had held this thing down for a multitude of years. But now, clearly, Dak Prescott is that guy.
And that's what he said. But shouldn't he have come out and said, barring injury, we're riding the rookie the rest of the way? That way everybody stops asking the question.
He's not going to say that because he has respect for Tony Romo. Jerry Jones is a very respectful person.
But then people are going to keep asking
very
the question.
honorable. You got to quit that. Sooner or later, he's going to snap and say, quit asking me that stupid question. You see this man winning out here.
I think he likes answering that question.
Really?
I think he likes answering it. He won't. I mean, come on. Jerry loves the media attention. Come on, baby. It's all about the Cowboys.
Let me tell you something they're not saying. Let me tell you something they're not saying. See, this is my problem because I played for Jerry Jones, and I know and love him on the field and off the field as well. I know what kind of man he is. You Cowboy fans blame Jerry for every darn thing you could.
That's true.
When you weren't winning, right?
Yep.
Why aren't you giving him the credit now? If you're going to blame him, shouldn't he get the credit? Because you're winning. Not only winning, you're dominating. And these draft choices are
because the perception is that maybe he was kind of kept away from that a little bit.
He wasn't kept away from nothing.
That's the perception.
Then when he losing, why isn't he kept away?
From quiet as kept, Stephen Jones is making a lot of the decisions, right?
Quiet as kept. No.
All right.
No.
One last point on these two great games we saw.
Should Stephen get the fault then when they was losing?
Oh, boy. One last point on these two great games we saw. 7 lead changes in the one in New England and in Pittsburgh. First time we've ever seen that
Put
in
some
NFL
respect
history.
on Jerry's name. That's all I'm saying.